isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, subdate 21.127.4. I've been thinking about getting a dog. Subfleet regulation permits it, but my crew all claim they're allergic because I kept saying I'm getting a bloody Saint Bernard. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter, or Twat. Today we have quite a few subjects to go through, some of which are quite hair-pull inducing. Before that, I am doing a political recap stream on the Moistski Live channel with my co-host Trups LP, and it is with that in mind, we're going to start with a tweet from the Eufio Answer after a discussion between myself and Sophane. Now, I'm not doing this to throw shade at Eufio at all, but it does afford me an opportunity to explain something quite important. So Eufio says, what if a non-chud, Omegon, does a weekly show with a MAGA chud? Does guilt by association exist? Full disclosure, I am a patron of Omegon. By the way, thank you very much for being a patron. I just don't understand why he does a show with a right-wing extremist. Fun fact about Trups, he's actually more liberal. It's just when it comes to when we stream together, I need someone to balance the show, because I'm remarkably neutral. As many of you that will know when you watch the show, I am very much down the middle. I address individual issues and refuse to take a political side, because I don't care about the political side, I care about the problems. I want to solve the problems. Trups, though, has a side, which makes him look a bit more like a MAGA chud than usual. In truth, though, I actually do quite like Donald Trump, because as an Englishman, he entertains me. But that's an okay answer for me to say because I'm not American. I don't believe that Trups is a right-wing extremist, but I do believe he sits slightly more to the right than me, and because of that, I need him on the show. And we work well together when we're just able to talk. While it seems like a bit of a non-point, it would be a very biased show if all I had was those that only leaned towards the centre or the left. You always need somebody to balance it out. I hope this answers your question, and it is a respectful answer, I promise you. But yes, if you're interested in a right-wing political fascist streaming with me tonight, link to the Moistski Live channel in the description down below. Oh, and I know Trups has answered you, so I won't be dragged in, but I do hope he offered some clarity to his position when it comes to working with me. So to start, we're going to go with Christmas because it's the end of November, although people have been celebrating as early as October, because this year has been so bad, they need something good. And as my area has been announced as Tier 3 lockdown, Conservatives aren't winning re-election around here, I can promise you that. The BBC News announced that BBC Radio 1 will not play the original version of Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl because its audience may be offended by derogatory terms for gender and sexuality. Every year, this gets brought up along with Baby It's Cold Outside as songs that are no longer suitable to be played at Christmas time. This time, though, they finally decided to act on it and ban the original version of the song using an edited version instead. Now, this has come directly from BBC News, so it seems like a credible source. Also, I just want to add, if you're going to ban the song, it kind of proves the point of the song anyway. Have you even looked at the lyrics? Well, Scott Bryan has said that BBC Radio 1 is tweaking the lyrics. Following by the reports from The Sun, BBC Radio 1 has confirmed that they are going to play an alternative version, but that they are not banning the original version at the same time, saying that they can also play the original version. I'm really confused by this. These are mixed signals. This is why I don't like the BBC, okay? You can't seem to give a straight answer to a very simple question. How about you just play Fairy Tales of New York because it's a good song? It's one of those iconic songs we hear at Christmas every year. Or you could play whatever reality show winner song got to number 1 and cringe the living feck out of us to the point where we end up getting Rage Against the Machine to number 1 again. Which is funny on the face of it, when you really think about it, seems a tad ironic. So to stay in the ballpark of Christmas and mentioning that the BBC can't do straight answers, I now want to go to the Iron Sheik, because he's a legend, and I love the fact that all his tweets are pretty much in caps lock. I be honest with you, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Ooh, that's a contentious one. And if you don't agree, you can go f*** yourself. I'm going to support the Iron Sheik here, by the way. If there's a movie I want to watch at Christmas, it's Die Hard. It used to be the Doctor Who Christmas special, but they're trash now, and they skipped one. But they're mostly trash. So I'll watch Die Hard instead, or something equally festive, Terminator 2. If you don't already, I highly recommend you go follow the Iron Sheik. He is, to this day, hilarious. To move on to a completely different subject, we should address the fact that on November 19th was International Men's Day. It is a time where we are celebrated. We discuss key issues men face, and there are plenty of them. Earlier in the year was International Women's Day, and it is regularly celebrated, championed, touted. Everyone talks about it, but not the men's one. It's become a recurring problem, and I do want to address it in my opinion piece on men's rights, which I have still yet to finish my sincerest apologies. Drunken Uncle quite rightly pointed out that on International Women's Day, Google had a stance. This. But on International Men's Day, Google's stance was this. I would like you all to now imagine the collective shock on my face. But to add fuel to this fire, we now go to the United Nations. Happy International Men's Day to all the male allies around the world who support women, defy gender roles, fight gender-based violence, and stand up for equality. At UN_women invites everyone everywhere to support generation equality, with an image, man up, scratch through, stand up for equality, UN women. I like that on a day supposed to be for men to raise issues for themselves and champion themselves a bit, you've made it all about women, thereby proving the point that most major, large groups of absolute clowns, like the UN, don't in fact care about men's issues. No one cares about the UN in the first place because you're an actual joke. Could you please all paint your faces like clowns and at least look the part? But now to do this is a bigger kick in the balls than you could actually imagine. I've seen this with people talking about the subject of circumcision, where someone says, a woman goes through periods every day, but you're complaining about a man having his penis snipped once? I know who tweeted that. You and I need to have a conversation. They're not the same thing, and there's a reason for that. International Men's Day is for men. Stop making things that are meant for men about women. Men don't do the same when it comes to women and their issues and their days. To be championed, it is not acceptable the other way round, and you know why. With this theme of equality in mind, I have a very cringy video to show you. It's 30 seconds long. It's really, really cringy. It was tweeted by Philip Ellis. With each new genre of heterosexuality that gets discovered, I feel more and more thankful to have been spared. I know many of you are thinking that man could be a cuck, beta, or a simp. I'm just thinking, he's thinking, when's he next getting sex? Along with where's his damn sandwich? Our final subject, yes, there aren't many for this one, but there's a good reason because this last one's quite entertaining, comes from a now protected Twitter account, and the original tweet itself is deleted, so I do apologise. From Deep Space Fine, at thisisme.whatevs. And before we get to the tweet, I want to highlight their profile description. 369 Deep Space Fine, hopping through that wormhole one more time. Name's Genevieve. Will argue with men for $20. Fuck all cops. So pleasant. So to the tweet. Some people think I don't like Trekkies who are straight white dudes, but I actually think it's really cool to see those men branch out. Don't let toxic masculinity tell you not to like Star Trek, just because it's, air quotes, for girls, end air quotes. And, air quotes, in, well that's spelt wrong, gay, end air quotes. Star Trek can be for everyone. Live long and prosper. While I'm not myself a straight white man, I am a Star Trek fan. In fact, I always say Star Trek is better than Star Wars. Star Wars has been, and will always be to me, utter trash. It had potential, but it lost its way. The Mandalorian is trying to claw back, but I'll be honest, it can't save Star Wars for me. I will always be a Star Trek fan. There's nothing gay about it. By the way, the 80s called they'd like their insult back along with this remark. And it's for girls. Star Trek isn't pink, you know. I'm kidding, of course, and if I had my way, the USS Arcadia here would in fact be pink. But according to subfleet regulations, I'm not allowed to have shiny pink objects. Right. Your comments are spoken out of ignorance. And you're the type, based on what I have learnt about you, Deep Space Fine, you are a elitist Trekkie snob who would like to believe they know a lot more than everyone else about Star Trek because of what they've seen and read, when in fact all that tells me is you've seen and read and not understood. You believe you understand and know the fandom, but based on what I've now learnt about you, you know the equivalent to fuck all. As we're done here, I'd love to know what you all think, so please do let me know in the comments down below if I don't see you tonight for a political recap with Trups LP. I hope you all have a fantastic Friday and subsequent weekend, and thank you all for listening.